Now, what is data? Data is a collection of facts such as numbers, words, measurements, observations, or just descriptions of things. For example, if I have a class of 45 students, then the marks of each student, if I collect all the data, then that becomes data. Marks of students in the class, heights of 10 girls, temperature at different places, etc. Data is mostly available to us in an unorganized form called raw data. Now, as the topic says, it is data handling. Now, what do you mean by this? The collection, recording, and presentation of data which helps us organize our experiences and draw inferences from them is known as data handling. So what does this mean? You have to collect data, you have to record them, you have to find out the number of occurrences, and you have to present them. You have to organize them in such a way that they can be represented or presented in a proper manner. That is what it is said here. It is easier to interpret, organize, and present data using pictorial representation. It includes tally marks, bar graphs, and pictographs. Now, to start off, what is a tally chart? You might have all heard and learned about tally chart. It's a method of counting frequencies in a set of data. Tally charts are often used with grouped observations. For example, if we have 1 to be represented, we just mark one line. If we have 2, we mark 2 lines. If we have 3, we mark 3 lines, one next to other. 4 is represented the same way as we represented 3, one next to other with 4 lines. 5 is represented in a slightly different manner. We have 4 lines for 4. Then the fifth one we will have a slash cutting all the 4 lines. This is how 5 is represented. Now what about 6? 6 will be represented like this. See, we have 5 here and then one additional line away from this bundle. This acts as a bundle of 5 and one extra. 5 plus 1 is 6. So this can go on to any number. Now when we mention frequencies while mentioning tally chart, what is a frequency? Frequency is the number of occurrences of a repeating event per unit of time. The frequency of a particular data value is the number of times the data value occurs. What do you mean by this? See, the number of occurrences, if one event or one data is appearing more than once, then the number of occurrences is called the frequency. We'll take up an example later to understand all these at once. Now, organization of data. When we have collected data, we need to organize it. So this can be done by tally marks and frequencies. Now, we'll just take up an example. Let's assume that you have data with regard to marks of different subjects of 10 students. Now, to handle this data properly, we need to arrange them in a systematic manner. That is, in a tabular column. For example, we'll arrange all these in a tabular column. We have numbers like 5, 7, 7, 6, 4, 5, 5, 8, 8 and 9. These are the numbers got by 10 students, and we will have to organize them in a tabular column. Now for the solution part, as we know that there are few marks achieved by 10 students, and those are listed out here. Now 4 is a mark achieved by one of the students, and how many students do we have who have scored 4? Only one. So the frequency is 1. So it has occurred only once. So I have tally marked as 1. Now for 5, it is appeared 1, 2 and 3. So we have 3 marks here, 3 tally marks, and that is expressed in numbers as frequency. Now 6, can you locate how many times has 6 occurred? Only once. So 1, and frequency also is 1. Now 7, how many times has it occurred? Twice. Now we'll have it marked as 2. 2 tally marks. Frequency is 2. Now 8 has also occurred twice. So 8 is 2 tally marks, and frequency is also 2. Now how about 9? 9 has occurred once. So only 1 tally mark, and that is represented as 1. Children, to check whether you are right in marking all the tally marks or the frequencies, you have a simple method of adding all this and finding out whether you are right or wrong. For example, if I add this, I need to have 10 because we have 10 students. These are the number of occurrences of those marks. So if I add this, the total sum, if it is 10, then my calculation is right. Shall I try? 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9, 9 plus 1 is 10. So we are right. I hope all of you understood this, children. Now moving on to the next concept, range. What is a range? The range is the difference between the lowest and highest values. For example, in a set, say we have few numbers like 4, 6, 9, 3, 7. They are all random numbers. The lowest value here in this set is 3, correct? And the highest value is 9. Yes, did you recognize? Now, the range is highest value minus lowest value. That is 9 minus 3 is equal to 6. So the range becomes 6 here. I hope you understood, children. Now with an example, we'll understand it in a better manner. Example, find the range of heights of 10 students of your class. So this is just an assumption that your class, in a class or your class students might be of this range. I have just listed out randomly, not exact measurement as such, but you can also do it as per the data what you have got. Now let the height, this is what I have assumed, let the height of 10 students be, all these are in centimeters. So it could be 125 centimeters, 127, 129, 132, 134, 136, 138, 140, 144, 146. I have different heights of 10 students here. Now I need to find the range of heights. Okay, range is nothing but highest value minus lowest value. So highest value here is 146 centimeters minus lowest value is 125 centimeters. So the difference I get 21 centimeters. 21 centimeters is the range. Understood? Let's move on to the next. Arithmetic mean. An average is defined as the sum of all the values divided by the total number of values in a given set. It is also known as arithmetic mean. Children, this means that when you are given a few values, a set of values, then the sum of all the values divided by the total number of values, how many ever you have got. If it is divided by the total number of values, then you get the average. And this average is also called as arithmetic mean. Now there are a few rules that we follow. There is a set formula which you need to remember. Now the rule would be to find the mean, we find the sum of all the observations and divide this by the number of observations. Now what does this mean? The mean of several observations is the value which is equally shared among all the observations. Like if you have 10 possible observations, you need to add all the 10 possible observations which you have noted down or collected, then divided by 10. This means that you are uh, segregating, or you are spreading it all through the 10 observations equally. This is called arithmetic mean. The arithmetic mean is equal to, this is a formula which you need to remember. Arithmetic mean is equal to sum of all observations divided by number of observations. The mean lies in between the greatest and the smallest observations. It's a range, and arithmetic mean usually lies between the greatest and the smallest observations. Now let's understand each one with few practice problems. Now children, let us start with a general problem or general concept which you come across every day. Like the average number of hours, study hours you spend for a whole week. Okay, if at all you are asked to find the average of your study hours for the whole week, how would you calculate? So for the step one would be find the number of study hours of all the 7 days of the week separately. That is, I mean, it's left to you how many hours you spend on each day. So I've just listed out randomly. This is what I have listed out. This might not be a standard one. You first list out onto how many hours have you spent, or how many hours do you plan to spend on Monday for studying, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and simultaneously Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So totally 7 days of in a week. How many hours have you spent, or are you planning to spend for studying? These are the number of hours which I have just listed out. So we first write the number of study hours on each day. Then find the sum. Step 2 would be find the sum of all the study hours and divide by 7, because we are talking about a week and a week has 7 days. So divide by 7. That is the number of days of the week. Then you get the average of your study hours. Children, similarly, you can even calculate or find out the number of hours you spend on sleeping. Sleeping hours for the whole week. You can try this problem. It is very much similar to what we have done now. Now moving on to the next problem. A batsman scored the following number of runs in 6 innings. These are the number of runs he scored in 6 innings. Now calculate the mean runs scored by him in an inning. So in one particular inning, you need to find the average runs scored by this particular batsman. So for solution, you first have to, to find mean, what do? You find, we find the sum of all the observations and divide it by the number of observations, correct? Now, total runs would be 36 plus 35 plus 50 plus 46 plus 60 plus 55, which is equal to 280. 282. Now, therefore, in this case, mean is equal to 282. This is the sum of all the observations divided by the number of observations. How many innings did he score all these scores in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's totally 6 innings that he has played and scored. So this is the sum. This is the number of observations. So 282 divided by 6 gives you 47. Therefore, the mean runs scored in an inning are 47. Now for the next problem, find the mean of first 5 whole numbers. Okay, now whole numbers, first 5 whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Children, observe that we are talking about whole numbers. It doesn't start with 1. It starts with 0. Correct? Do you remember? Okay. So, first 5 whole numbers will start from 0. Since we are talking about only 5, so it will be 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, their arithmetic mean is equal to sum of all observations divided by number of observations. This is the formula. Now add sum of all observations means we have to add all these 5 whole numbers. So 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 divided by number of observations. How many observations did we have? It's 5 whole numbers. So it's 5. So when we add this, what do we get? 10. 10 divided by 5 is 2. I hope all of you have understood this, children. Now for the next problem. Organize the following marks in a class assessment in a tabular form. These are the marks obtained. Now we are supposed to find solutions for these questions. Which number is the highest? Which number is the lowest? What is the range of the data? Find the arithmetic mean. Okay, I hope all of you can see this tally mark. We have just formulated this tabular column using all the data which has been given here. Now to start off, 1 mark. Where is it? We just have it repeated once. Okay, so tally mark is 1, frequency is 1. Now 2, where do we find? Yes, 1 and 2. There are only 2, so we mark it as 2 and write the frequency as 2. Now the next marks is 3. We don't find it. Okay, we have 3 appearing only once. Then 4. 4 has appeared here. 1, 2, then 3. Yes, we have 3 appearances, 3 occurrences of 4. So we mention it as mention the frequency as 3 and mark 3 tally marks. Now for 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Correct? So we have 5 tally marks here. 5 is the frequency. Now for 6, 1, 2, 3, is that all? Okay, 4. So 4, we mention the frequency as 4. Now 7, 1, 2. Only 2 occurrences, so we mention it as 2. 8, it's only 1, and 9, that's also 1. Correct? So we have this ready table of all the frequencies, the observations, what we have been given in the problem. Now we will move on to answering these questions individually. Now for the solutions, highest number, what is the highest number here in the range, whatever is given amongst this, highest number is 9. Then the lowest number is 1. They've even asked us to find the range of the data, and range of the data is achieved by this formula, highest observation minus lowest observation. So highest is 9 minus lowest is 1. 9 minus 1 is 8. So range of data is equal to 8. Now arithmetic mean is equal to sum of all observations divided by number of observations. Now this would be add all the marks which has been given in the problem and divided by 20, because there are totally 20 marks given here. So divided by 20. Now the total would be 100 divided by 20, which would give you 5. So arithmetic mean would be 5. Moving on to the next problem. The marks out of 100 obtained by a group of students in a science test are 85, 76, 90, 85, 39, 48, 56, 95, 81 and 75. Find the highest and the lowest marks obtained by the students. Find also the range of the marks obtained. Then mean marks obtained by the group. So we have 3 questions to be answered. So for the solution, the highest marks obtained by the students is 95. The lowest marks is 39. Therefore, the range of the marks obtained, that's also asked, right? Range of the marks obtained is equal to highest marks minus lowest marks. Highest marks, we have noted it down, that is 95 minus 39, okay, which will give you 56. Now for the next question to be answered, the next solution, mean marks obtained by the group is equal to sum of all observations divided by number of observations. Now here just add up all the marks which are given divided by the total number of students' marks which are displayed, the number of observation, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are totally 10 observations. So number of observations would be 10, and when you add up all this, the sum would be 730. 730 divided by 10 would give you 73. I hope all of you have understood, children. You can work out along with me. Children, also observe that these are the problems given in the textbook. You can even refer to the textbook for the problems. We have even discussed few try these problems which are not solved in the textbook. The rainfall in mm in a city on 7 days of a certain week was recorded as follows. These are the recordings of rainfall in millimeter. Now the questions to be answered are: find the range of the rainfall in the above data. Find the mean rainfall for the week. Third question, on how many days was the rainfall less than the mean rainfall? Okay, we'll start solving this one by one. First one is range of the rainfall. We need to find the range of the rainfall. Range is found out by subtracting or taking a difference between highest and the lowest. Here it's the rainfall. So highest rainfall minus lowest rainfall. 20.5 mm minus 0.0 mm. If you observe the table, the least is 0. So 20.5 minus 0 is 20. 20.5 mm is the range of the rainfall. Now for the next question. Mean rainfall for the week is equal to sum of all observations divided by number of observations. So sum of all observations are the data which is given in the tabular column. You just add up all of them divided by, there are totally 7 readings that are given. Write 7 at the denominator. So this totals up or sums up to 41.3 divided by 7, which is equal to 5.9 millimeters. Next, moving on to the next problem. The heights of 10 girls were measured in centimeters and the results are as follows. The heights of 10 girls have been measured and this is the measurement given. What is the height of the tallest girl? Just by looking at the table itself you can find out, children. Yes? Which one is the tallest girl's height? Yes, 151. What is the height of the shortest girl? Try to figure out. Yes, 128. Now, the other questions what we are supposed to find out is the range of the data. What is the mean height of the girls? How many girls have heights more than the mean height? Now, as we just discussed, the height of the tallest girl is 151 centimeters. Then height of the shortest girl is 128 centimeters. Therefore, range of the data is equal to highest observation minus lowest observation is equal to 151 centimeters minus 128 centimeters is equal to 23 centimeters. Now next question, mean height of the girls is equal to, how do you find the mean? The formula is sum of all observations divided by number of observations. Here sum of all observations is the height, the readings which they have given in the problem. Add all the readings given divided by the number of observations, which is 10, because we have 10 girls and the heights are of 10 girls. So this is 1414. It sums up to 1414 divided by 10, which is equal to 141.4 centimeters. Now there's another question which checks out as to how many girls have heights more than the mean height. Mean height is 144.4 centimeters. So totally we have 5 girls who have their heights more than the mean height. Now that's all for today's session, children. Practice all the problems which have been done.